Hey friends, welcome back to the farm. My name is Susie and today's video is a thrift flip video. I thrifted this little pottery vase for $1.99 and I want to make it similar to a crock. So I'm taking some IOD clay and just making an impression in the clay with the crockery stamps, a very thin piece of clay, and then I'm going to glue it onto the picture. Normally I would use Gorilla Glue, but on round surfaces it doesn't set up as quickly and they will slide around. So I'm using this Titebond glue so it's more of an instant hold, and I just let it dry on the picture overnight. And then I'm going to paint the picture in Dixie Belle drop cloth, which is the closest color to the inside of the picture. That way I don't have to paint the inside of the picture, and it also is very close to the actual crockery color. I covered it in 2 coats and then completely let it dry. And then I'm going to apply some clear wax to it and let that completely dry as well. And once the clear wax has completely dried, I am going to use some watered down antiquing wax and just go over the crockery impression on the picture and then wipe back all the excess with a paper towel. And the reason that I used the clear wax was because it gives me so much more control when wiping back. And see all the extra wax that accidentally got on the picture? Because I clear waxed it, it's sealed, I can just wipe that right off. And all that is left is all the detail now in the impression. And I think it goes really good with all my other pottery in my china cabinet. For my next thrift flip, I found this rectangular wooden frame. It did have a mirror inside. I think I paid $3.99 for the mirror, but I did end up breaking the mirror trying to take it out. So I'm just going to paint this wooden frame a couple coats of white, distress it, and seal it all in good. And then I had a leftover piece of chalkboard from where I made the Susie on the Farm sign for the booth. So I cut that down to fit the inside of the frame. And I'm going to be using this erasable chalk in white from IOD and the Farm Hand stamps. I love these stamps. They're very Ray Dunnish, but I just thought that they're so farmhouse-like. So that is exactly what I'm going to put on this sign, is the word farmhouse. And since this is the first time using these stamps, I'm just going to rough them up slightly with a 220 grit sandpaper just to season them a little bit. And then I am going to spell out the word farmhouse. I kind of lay it out the way that I want it on the chalkboard, and then I will use the thin mount to line it up. This was actually my first time using the liquid chalk, so I did do a little practice on it, and I found that it does go on pretty good bit thicker than the ink, but I absolutely love the way it turns out, and it really is like a chalkboard but can be more permanent. It is also erasable, but you can seal it and it will stay on there. How adorable did this little farmhouse sign turn out? I think you could put pantry or any kind of word like that and it would be so cute. I thrifted this little plaque. It had a rooster on it, and I've already sanded that off. And these 2 wooden frames with this artwork in it. Now, there's no glass in these, so I just cleaned everything up really good using my favorite cleaner, the Crud Cutter. and got them all clean, and then I am going to paint all of them with the Rethunk Junk paint. I am loving this paint. It has a built-in sealer and it's self-leveling, so it's just so smooth and so pretty. I hate to even distress it. It is so beautiful and so smooth. Now for the frames, I just painted directly over the artwork. I wasn't digging it, and it wasn't raised. There was a texture, but it was basically just like a canvas. So I just painted the entire frames, including the artwork, a couple of coats. For these thrift flips, I'm going to be using the new release, the Village Market molds, and I am obsessed with these molds. They are so cute. There is a pig and a sheep and a cow, some wheat, and some cute little flowers. So we're just going to use them all up today. Just be sure when you're using your molds, you use some cornstarch so that your clay does not stick in the molds. These IOD molds are very easy to use with the IOD clay. They have this micro rim on them, so you just push your clay in it and then rub it over the rim until it becomes clean, and your mold will easily pop out. Oh, look at the cute little pig. So I'm just going to go ahead and make all these up. These flowers have tons of detail in them as well. So I'm going to make up everything and a couple of the wheat for the cow and the pig. And then I'm also going to use the Harper mold. They have the cutest little lowercase letters, and the numbers are the best numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and spell out the word farmhouse. This whole thrift flip video is kind of farmhouse. So I'm going to spell out the word farmhouse, and then I'm just going to let all my clay dry overnight. And then once it is dried, I'm going to go back in with the watered down antiquing wax and just basically paint them all and wipe them all down. As you can see, I lost the cow's tail there, but that is no problem. I can glue that on when I glue it on to the frame. I am going to use the Gorilla Glue because I am gluing on a flat surface, so I don't have to worry about it moving around. So I'm just going to glue everything in place with the Gorilla Glue. I'm going to put the sheep and the farmhouse on the little plaque, and then I'm going to put the cow and the pig and the wheat on the frames. After I was finished, I really did not like the way that the sheep turned out, so off camera I did end up painting it apothecary and white waxing, but the little cow and the pig turned out perfect on these frames. They are so farmhouse and so cute. I'm just in love with them. And I do like the way that the sheep turned out. It just seemed more cottagey with the greenish color. And for the last flip in this video, I don't know if y'all remember this little table I got at a yard sale for $5. It was in pretty good shape other than the finish, and the legs were just a little bit wobbly, so I sanded it down, and the wobbly legs were an easy fix just by tightening up the screws. And then I cleaned everything up really good using the crud cutter, and I am going to paint this with the Rethunk Junk resin paint in the color Cotton. I love this paint. As I said before, it is self-leveling and has a built-in sealer. I don't even like to distress this paint. I'm sure that I will at some point, but I'm just loving how smooth it turns out. I'm going to be using the clock transfer from the Brocante booklet, and now I'm just trying to find the very center of the circle so that I can place the very center of the clock in the very center of the table. I think of all the IOD products, my favorite to date, this may change, but my favorite to date are the transfers because they are so easy and have such a huge impact on every project. All you have to do is lay it down and rub it on the project until it releases from the plastic backing. This one released pretty well. I had to rub for just a little bit, and you just rub and peel back, and if something is not releasing, you lay it down and you rub some more. Since this is a tabletop, once I got the transfer on, I did go ahead and put another couple coats of a top coat on it just to give it some extra durability in case it's used a lot. And I put this table in my booth and it sold within 2 days. Thank y'all so much for watching my video today. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite thrift flip. I think next week's video will probably be a thrift flip as well because I'm just working on all kinds of things to get my booth stocked up really well because we are going on vacation in a couple of weeks. So I just really need to get a lot of stuff done. I appreciate you guys so much watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.